Hello, this is the Sam Morgan Show. I'm your host, Sam Morgan. This is episode 9. So, welcome back, guys. This is closing in here. We got the 9th episode today. And then, once again, I got sidetracked on the posting every week. So, technically, it's midnight right now, so it's already Sunday. I'm filming a solo episode, and then tomorrow I'm filming episode 10. Possibly solo, possibly with another guest. Not confirmed yet, but yeah, we're here in episode 9, and I got some good topics to talk about today. So let's dive in. First of all, Arizona, Arnold Palmer. You're not sponsoring me, but I love it. Very good. Half lemonade, half iced tea, guys. But we're gonna start off with some pretty strong topics here. So in the past episodes, I don't know how many I've talked about religion, but we're doing it again today. And specifically, I'm going to profess my faith. And by that I mean kind of state more clearly what I am and what I believe. And that is Catholicism. I've talked about how I've gone to Protestant churches before, which I've actually not gone to a Protestant church. Some people consider non-denominational Protestant, some don't. I haven't really looked into that, but the church that I've mentioned before was actually non-denominational, not Protestant. If you want to argue about that, sure, go ahead. But yeah, it was a non-denominational church. And so I'm here to tell you today, I am a Catholic, and that is where I'm at. That's where I'm standing right now in my current beliefs. And I saw a thing, and the reason, that's kind of the reason why I'm saying this, making this distinction, is because I saw, I think it was some priest online that was saying either be fully in or be fully out. And I realized that I've been talking about this like faithful, like religious exploration phase that I'm in right now, and I realized that I can still be in that phase while also being completely a Catholic and fully believing the Catholic doctrine. And so that is what I'm doing. I am a Catholic, born and raised Catholic. Have had like a year or so period of really where I've started more exploring and trying to learn about faith. And right now I'm at the conclusion of Catholicism is the way that I'm going to go. Not that it matters for me to put that out and tell you, but I am. So, yeah, I can continue being a more and more devout Catholic while still learning about other religions. And it's not a bad practice because it's not bad to challenge your faith. I've said that before. I stand by that. If you're not constantly challenging your mentality, that means you're probably not learning more about what you think. So if I stop challenging Catholicism, I probably stop learning about Catholicism, and that is not the way I want to go. I want to continue learning about all the spectrum. So yeah, because I believe it's good to be knowledgeable on all those different topics. So yeah, so all the people, especially some of my closer friends, especially Josiah, who was on the show, what was that, 2 episodes ago, episode 7. Me and him talk about it a lot, and when we have conversations, he's usually telling me to be very cautious and to continue to have an open mind and explore. Mostly, I would say, because he is a non-denominational Christian, not a Catholic, but I think that's still somewhat of the right mindset, because there is some aspect of a closed mind there, because I am a Catholic and that's what I'm going to do. But at the same time, like I said, I want to continue learning. Yeah. So, with saying that, if you are a Christian in general, we're going to address a little bit of a political issue, which is not necessarily a political issue per se, but just politics in general. If you are a Christian in America, you should be a conservative, and that is that just like makes sense. It just does. We've seen videos of these ex-Muslims, and now they're now Christians, and they say the Muslims don't agree with the things that the left says. The Muslims in America, talking about American politics, obviously, they don't agree with the things the left says, but they realize that they will get Islam to advance more if the left is in power, because they know that the right has actual moral values and sticks to those values. And so it really only makes sense to me that if you are a liberal or a Democrat, that it doesn't sound like you're living your faith correctly. And now, I'm not one that should look at the splinter in somebody else's eye while missing the whole log in mine, but it doesn't make sense to me when Christians want to support people that are wanting to support abortion or things along those lines that very blatantly go against Christian values. And now, I don't know about other religions, how they should vote, but I'm saying Christians more should be conservative. And I don't say, I said Democrat when I related it to liberal, and you can say Republican when you relate it to conservative, but I try to stick away from the like party affiliations, not necessarily, because some of the Republicans don't think like necessarily as conservatively as the others. Like there's some that are more moderate, there's some that are more conservative, like further right than others, and so they don't all carry the exact same values within the party, which is why I'm saying the conservative values over the Republican values, or like the liberal values over the Democratic values. Excuse me for all the coughing and sniffling, by the way. Kind of coming off a little cold. Been traveling a lot recently, so I'm trying to get over that. But the one thing I will say, that no matter your political affiliation, you should keep your faith first, because your faith is not going to tell you to go and support political parties before supporting itself, the faith. So if you're a Christian, be a good Christian and support that party that is going to support those Christian values. Or if you're a Muslim, or if you're a Buddhist, or if you're a whatever, support the party that most supports your values, because supporting that faith is more important than supporting a party. See? And a lot of people get caught up with that in America. Will be like, oh, I'm a Christian and I got Bible verses in my Instagram bio, and like that type of vibe, and then we'll be like super insane on the political spectrum, and just not they don't sound like they quite get the message they're sending. Like they're not really following what they're saying. So it's you know, it's kind of they're kind of like double standardizing people. It's a double standard. Um, so I have some books that I've been reading, and I want to give a little bit of a book journey update, which I have not necessarily done on the show. I've not done a first one, so I guess this is the first one on the show. But I've done a couple book reviews on my page, the real Sam.Morgan on Instagram and TikTok. Go follow. But we have a couple of books here. These are more about Catholicism type of books. This is The Miracle of the Eucharist that my cousin just gave me by George E. Fouch. I guess that's how I'm going to say the last name. I'm about halfway through the book. It's obviously a very skinny book, but I've been enjoying it. And then this is the UCAT, which is basically just a catechism, and it's for youth. That's why it's called the UCAT. But it's definitely helpful. You kind of got to learn how to use it because it's like basically just question and answers. It's not really like a book, although you could probably read it just straight up. But it's more for like if you have a question that you can go in there and check something out. So that's not something I'm gonna like read through. But if I have obviously anything I need to be answered about Catholicism, I can go there and probably answer what I'm looking for. And then I'm reading the Eucharist, the Miracles of the Eucharist book, but the real like thick book that I'm reading right now is this, which is Stop in the Name of God by Charlie Kirk. Why honoring the Sabbath will transform your life, and I am in chapter 1, which seems a little bit my goodness, excuse me, seems a little bit daunting because there was a 4-word prologue and an introduction all before chapter 1, and I was like, Charlie, dude, I've read like a chapter and a half before we're already starting chapter 1. So yeah, it's a good sized book though, and I'm enjoying it as well. I've already finished one book this year, which my original goal for reading books this year was 100. I don't think I'm going to get to that goal because I'm trying to keep it like a minimum of like 200 pages is what I'm counting as the books that I've read. And so I've only read one that's over that, and that was a C.S. Lewis book called Mere Christianity. And that was actually one of the authors that Charlie Kirk actually liked a lot. And when I'm reading this Charlie Kirk book, after reading a C.S. Lewis book, you can really tell that Charlie writes the same like kind of style. You can tell that the style is similar between C.S. Lewis and Charlie Kirk because of how much Charlie read of his. And Charlie was obviously a very knowledgeable person, and so is C.S. Lewis. So sometimes their writing might be a little hard to understand, but if you read it a second time, you reread a passage, or you just kind of think about it for a second, it takes a second, you could get it, and it actually like what they're saying makes really good sense. So yeah, so I'm hoping to get rolling on this book. I've kind of been struggling, but yeah, hoping to get through it and keep going. Whoa! My goodness, excuse me. I could feel that one coming. If you couldn't tell by my face, I could tell it was coming. But besides the books, I got one more topic for you guys today in this episode, and that is some college stuff. We're going into spring break this weekend, and then we have spring break, and then next weekend, and then we're back into school. Although I do have practice all day, and not all day, every day from 1 to 3. And so it's not really a spring break. It's more like a class break, which I guess is nice. I think this is probably the first weekend of this semester that I didn't, maybe other than like the first weekend of the semester, that I haven't had homework to do that was due Sunday. Like, because I did midterms and stuff this week, so I didn't have to do any homework really this weekend, which was nice. But we'll just talk about college classes for a second, because like I say, I have homework over a weekend, but it's really not complicated. Um, if you focus and like if you pay attention, let's say you're an average high school student in America, if you go to college courses and you literally just pay attention, you get you'll get excuse me, you'll get minimum B's in those classes. Like it's not hard. Um, Now there are some classes like sociology that I don't agree with everything that sociology teacher says. Actually, I don't agree with most of the things she says. But if you just now, this is also kind of just it's a weird point, because if you conform to what the teacher teaches and you uh, write how she wants you to write and how she wants you to answer questions, then you can get good grades really easily. And that's also a very big stigma in college, is not standing up for what you believe. Which it's my college is liberal, but it's not liberal to that point where I really have to do that. The papers I write in sociology class are really not as opinion based. It's more just like real world, like fact type of things, and um, definitional stuff. So it's a lot of like connecting those two and not really throwing in your own opinion. So I don't really have to stand up for anything, because it's not like me battling in like a debate. It's not like me battling a debate with my own opinion. But there are universities that do that, and so for some people, college may not be the best idea. Not just for that reason. If you have trouble standing up for your opinion, you need to fix that somewhere else. But um, um, college just isn't right for a lot of people, and I'm here trying it out for a year. We're gonna see how it goes, and maybe I go back, maybe I don't. I don't know yet. Keeping options open, but volleyball is definitely a big part of that. Why I'm still keeping it as an option, because I find the volleyball fulfilling, even though I don't get a lot of playing time. Um, I find it very fulfilling to be on a good team, and yeah, it's nice. I like being around all those guys. Um, but the college, go back to college classes for a second. Um, One thing that really surprised me from the transition from high school classes to college classes, high school, you have the same classes every single day, all 5 days of the week. College classes, you have maybe a class for like 2 days out of the week or 3 days out of the week. And it's not like back to back days usually either. It's usually day on, day off, day on, day off, day on. If it's three, and if it's two, it's just day on, day off, day on, day off. So um, that's why I said if you just focus in class, that's kind of the most important time, because if you pay attention to the lectures, then it's really easy to just go out of the class and get your work done, especially with how many resources. Teachers usually don't advise AI, but AI definitely can be used still um, in some classes. And then the teachers give you so many resources, readings, slideshows, PowerPoints, all these different tools. There's tutors on campus. So, yeah, there's a lot of that type of thing where it's, you know, um, pretty easy to slide by in college. And also, you don't have to have A's to get degrees. I'm pretty sure you can pass with C's and get your degree in a bachelor's. So, um, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. This has been episode 9. Make sure you go follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at The Sam Morgan Show. Subscribe here on YouTube. Leave a like, leave a comment. And I'm Sam Morgan, the host of the show. If you like what you see, make sure you put on those post notifications. And I'll see you guys in episode 10. Thanks for watching. Bye.